Looking at the advanced features, we're now looking at the view report list, and it's just a couple of features I wanted to point out here. So you may have just the one report design that you use again and again, and that's absolutely fine. Or you might actually have a report design for each job role that you have. And perhaps you're an agency, and therefore you might have many job roles where you're custom designing reports for each client and for each client's job role. So the chances are you could end up with many report designs in your list, some of which will become obsolete or redundant because you're no longer using them, you're using newer versions. So let's look at how you just keep things tidy and how you view what's going on. So if we come down to the advanced features, the design reports button, there's the first option is to design a new report. That's the same as this button up here, and that's covered in another video. What I want to look at is the view report list, and I'll show you exactly what this does. And this is again mainly for decent housekeeping. So you can see in this demo account I've actually got many report designs, right? Now it's very unlikely you'll end up with that, but you could do, just depending on how you're using the system. So you can see their name, the date they were created, and again gives you an idea of if they're old or new. And if you come along here, you will then see that you can view a sample or view a list of the topics that's in that report. So if you're not sure if it's still something you want to keep, then you can have a quick look at these and it'll open a window and let you see those. However, if you think this is something that you no longer are using, then you can simply archive it. So just click on the archive button, ask if you're sure, say OK, and that is then in the archive. Now, you'll see that it now says unarchive, which means you can retrieve it back from the archive. Now, what does this mean in practice? Well, that report, which is test 45, when I am looking at a user's reports, right, so I click on the users and I click on a name, and I'm then presented with a table of all the reports available for that user. Well, if I've archived it, then they will not appear in this active table. And these are actually the reports that you use on a daily basis. So if in doubt, archive it. You can always retrieve it from the archive if you really need to, but maybe you're working with a client that, some months ago, and you're no longer doing that project, and therefore it's gone a bit redundant, but it might come up again next year. Maybe they only recruit once a year. Then archive it until you need it. And that's quite means that you can keep this live table, which is the one that you use to actually order reports and read reports and view reports. This is the table you use every day. Then you want to keep this short and manageable. You don't want it being a big long mess, and that's what the archive facility is for.